What is really an ideal skincare routine for teens? Hi, I'm Dr. Elena Poulos.
And I'm Dr. Marnie Fisher
from Kingsway Dermatology and Cosmetic Center. And today we are talking about skincare for teens.
Excellent. What should I use on my face? What is on TikTok? What is discussed on the masses at an endless degree on the internet?
Right. What is really an ideal skincare routine for teens? And why don't we start with the definition? I would define it as when a child starts going through puberty. So it's not necessarily 13. In fact, kids are going through earlier and earlier, 9 years old, 10 years old. So as soon as kids start going through puberty, that's when they should really start thinking about their skincare. And the way I think about it as a derm is really what's your primary need, okay? Is your skin perfect? That would be one scenario. Do you have acne? That's a different scenario. Do you have eczema? Third scenario. Is your skin super, super sensitive? That would be a different scenario. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so walk us through what the acne kids should do.
Acne kids need to have a active ingredient in their wash.
Right. Such as?
Salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide are probably the top two.
And do you have a fave?
Maybe the CeraVe.
Benzoyl peroxide.
CeraVe 4% benzoyl peroxide. Because it's easy to get and it comes in a large quantity. It has a pump so you can sit on the counter. And together with the gentle though.
Right, but do you prefer sal acid or benzoyl peroxide?
Benzoyl peroxide.
Ditto. I have to say benzoyl peroxide is a winner over sal acid every time. So there's the over-the-counter and there's also prescription strength as well. So if you're really very oily, like it's really the oily kid. So if you're really super duper oily, think about going to your doctor to get a prescription grade benzoyl peroxide based cleanser twice a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I always tell my patients there's two ways to use your cleanser, and this is very important. You can put it on your dry face, leave it on for 30 seconds, 1 minute. Maybe you can tolerate a little bit more, and then lather and rinse and wash it off. That is short contact, but it's a little bit longer short contact than just a wash and a rinse that is within about 10 seconds.
And so what do you think the advantage is? Because do you think really most teenagers, I'm playing devil's advocate, but really, do you think most teenagers would put it on a dry face? And do you think it might actually irritate them?
Well, this is a very good question because always benzoyl peroxide could irritate. But it irritates less than taking a gel and putting it on your face and leaving it overnight.
Okay.
So it's a step between.
Okay, so
and that's good for back acne too.
Okay, so let's summarize by saying if you're really, really oily or you have very severe acne, you can always try to get even more efficacy out of your cleanser by applying it first on dry skin, let it sit for a few minutes, and then rinse. And then I have another little trick too. What I love to tell my acne teens is with that benzoyl peroxide cleanser, put it in the shower. So especially for kids that are doing a lot of sports, it's awesome in the shower. So your skin is already wet, you lather it up, you do your face, but you can also do your chest, your back, and your shoulders, and it's a really nice, easy way to get some improvement. Okay, so cleanser, activated cleanser, acne patients. Do those acne patients need anything else in their skincare routine?
Well, in some people, the salicylic acid actually binds into the oils a little bit better and has an exfoliative and lifting effect. But this is not true for everybody. So it's always good to try a salicylic acid. You can get it in a toner or a pre-soaked pad. But you don't know until you try. That's the thing.
True.
So,
So cleanser for sure. Serums,
no serums.
No serums whatsoever. So if it's just strictly acne, I would say if your skin is very oily, you actually really do not need a moisturizing lotion. So you can keep it easy and just find the best cleanser, do it twice a day. And if you need to, you can add in a prescription strength topical for your acne, but I would say moisturizers are not really that necessary. Agree?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, so we're done with acne. Okay, so let's then move on to our kid who's got maybe a little bit of eczema or really sensitive skin, so they get red, they get irritated very easily. Let's talk about the routine. So where would you recommend they start?
A gentle cleanser,
Yeah.
for sure. So it could be the popular national brands. It could be one of the European brands, La
For sure,
Roche-Posay.
and for sure, for sensitive skin, fragrance-free is a must. Yeah.
I find that when you wash your skin, you are more sensitive if that damp skin air dries. So being prepared with your moisturizer right next door so that you can apply the moisturizer while your skin is still damp often mitigates that air dry, uncomfortable zone. Because some people with eczema are so sensitive that when they put the moisturizer on, it has a little bit of burn quality to it.
So basically the point is super gentle cleanser twice a day, followed up immediately by a good moisturizer. And again, in that moisturizer, it doesn't really have to be something expensive, but you want to make sure that it's fragrance free and hopefully something that doesn't have the common allergens. So something for sensitive skin is great. And to your point, there is sometimes a trial and error process that happens. So if you're putting on a moisturizing lotion and you find it stings or burns, particularly around the eyes, it's just not the right product for you, try again, okay? It's really important that whatever you use doesn't sting or burn. So cleanser, gentle cleanser twice a day, moisturizing lotion twice a day, and that's really it. We're gonna actually hit on sunscreen at the end actually, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so third category, what about those kids that have acne and they have really sensitive skin as well? So what do we do?
Super difficult, but I would still say the gentle cleanser.
Yes.
And then trial and error, you introduce that benzoyl peroxide wash once per week and, then twice per week and see how far you get.
Slowly step into it, but I would say in particular for kids that have acne and eczema together, it is important that you actually you should actually be proactive about seeing a dermatologist because there are certain prescriptions that will work very well for your skin, so can attack the acne without causing redness and irritation. So there are a few specialized prescription products like that that are available on the market.
Yeah. Eczema with dry skin is necessary to moisturize, but we might need prescriptions to help it along the way as we're introducing those acne products to help it. And then therefore that combination really is the gold medal.
Okay. So then there's that whole category, right, of teens that are actually just really lucky and they have great skin. So they don't have acne, they don't have eczema, they just have great skin. So do they have to go and get like expensive skincare from the fancy stores, or should they just get the pharmacy brand? What's your take?
Well, a lot of products are sold and marketed to the consumer based on the dispenser that they come in, the packaging color, how it looks on the counter, the ease of travel, the fragrance that's in it because it speaks to one person but not another. So there really is a lot of...
But does it make a difference? So do you think that it actually makes a difference?
It doesn't make a difference, but knowing what is in there and why you're buying it. I think there's a lot of people who are always on to the next best thing, the next best thing, the next best thing.
Yeah.
And is there a next best thing?
Right. Probably not.
Probably not.
No. So it's really about, if you enjoy those things and if it's worth it to you, great, do it. If it's going to get you to do it because you just enjoy the experience, I think that's wonderful. But I think for people that have really good skin and they're clear, you don't really have to spend a lot of money. It's not a huge investment in skincare. So, a simple cleanser, a simple moisturizing lotion. Again, we always recommend fragrance-free because allergies can develop over time. And then if you're going to invest anywhere, I always recommend invest in a good quality sunscreen because that's really what's going to keep your skin healthy over the decades.
The number one protector of skin for the current and the future years is protecting from UV exposure. So it really is protecting the color, the texture, the elasticity, the tone, everything about the skin that everyone is hearing about is protecting from UV exposure.
And then finally, so still on the teens here. So what about sunscreen? So what should teenagers be doing about sunscreen? So number one, should they be wearing it all year long? Number two, does it matter? Should they just get like an inexpensive pharmacy brand, or do they need some of these like upscale sunscreens for a teenager? What's your take on it?
I often like, again, something that's convenient to use that comes in a pump at home, because convenience is everything.
Yeah.
So you line up your products, it's AM, PM, it's 1, 2, 3. So it's got to be easy, 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 3 minutes, 4 minutes max. So there's, again, some CeraVe, some Cetaphil with SPF 30 in it. If the whole family is using it, maybe you want an SPF 50 that's sitting on the counter, so that everybody uses the same one.
And consistency is key, right? Just like everything else in life, it's like habits that matter the most. So it doesn't necessarily have to be done perfectly every single time, but if you're doing it all the time, long term, you're going to really be protecting your skin. So the one caveat that I would add, I really, for patients that have acne, I think that they do have to pay a little bit closer attention to the sunscreen, and also those eczema patients. So if they're acne patients, they actually are usually better served going for a sunscreen that's primarily titanium dioxide and oil-free. And there are some really lovely physical sunscreen blockers that acne patients can use that's not going to aggravate their acne or make it worse. And likewise, those physical sunscreens often work well for patients with eczema, because again, they don't have some of those chemical filters that might irritate the skin.
Yeah.
Did we cover the teens? Did we get everybody? I think we got them all.
Yeah.
Amazing. So why we decided to do this video today, I'm sure you guys have seen on the news, there's a lot of teens that are investing a lot in their skincare. So they're going with high-end, expensive products. I don't actually necessarily think it makes a difference. I really don't. And I think you can be really well served doing things that are good quality, but at the pharmacy at a much better value. What do you think?
I think so. And in terms of actives and additives that are going to, promote collagen and finer texture skin at a teen age, I think the skin is reparative and regenerative enough already with the basics, which is a good balanced diet. Let's not forget the intake of protein. It's not always, potato chips or junk food all the time. And then also, it's good sleep. So good sleep is really regenerative, and those are going to form the building blocks in our skin.
You know what, and well said, and I completely agree. And I would kind of say to all teens out there, if you're going to put your emphasis anywhere, put it on those good habits. Like really try to eat your vegetables, get your nutrition, drink your water. And you guys, you need at least 8 hours of sleep every night, okay? Sometimes you don't feel it, but you do need it. And if you can do those things,
11.
You're good. Or 11. Yeah, or 11. But don't forget, you're not supposed to be late for school, right? But if you do those things, your whole body's going to be much healthier, and you will see the difference in your skin. So I always kind of tell my teens, my patients, put your emphasis on those things that long-term are going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Great. We're going to talk right now about Sephora and the whole thing with teens in Sephora, and the fact that you've got like 10 years olds that are buying retinol products. So what's the deal? What's your take? Is it Sephora? Is the Sephora the problem?
I don't go to Sephora myself, but I don't mind Sephora. I think they do a good job of presenting a whole lot of product options for people. And it's not as if anyone's going to go in there and buy 10 eyeliners on the same day. They're going to try a bunch of stuff that works.
So you're saying it's not Sephora. Sephora's the retailer. They're just providing a beautiful environment with all the products. And it's sort of like, what, buyer beware? Is that what you're saying?
It is. But here's the thing. Buyers, beware of where you're getting your advice.
Right.
Why are people listening to a 14-year-old on TikTok talking about the best skincare, acne care, spot treatment, lemon juice, mayonnaise, go get
Vaseline, sludging, right?
Oh, God.
Right.
Using retinol at a young age. Whoever came up with that?
Right.
Never, ever, ever in 50 years. But
makes us seem uncool, I think.
But honestly, no one needs retinol at a young age. Like,
you don't need it unless you're using it for your acne. So you know what? The whole point, Sephora's fine. And if you know what, if you've had a summer job, right, you're not using your parents' credit card, and you want to use your summer earnings to buy your stuff at Sephora, and you want to use fancy stuff that smells great, go for it. But you don't have to. Number one, you don't have to. And number two, really, you need to be aware of where you're getting the information, okay? The influencers that you're seeing on TikTok with the multiple millions and millions of viewers, really, what are their credentials? Like, should you believe what they're saying? And I think that's really our point.
Yeah. So if somebody is reading it on their internet, seeing it on the internet, and then they repeat it, and then that is seen or read and repeated times 10,000, 100 million, 10 billion times. If it's repeated, it still doesn't make it true.
Right.
Where did the report come from? Where is the source for all this information?
Agree. So like teenagers, be aware, right? So in our, we didn't have all of that when we were growing up. We were never exposed to all that. So teenagers really have to be aware of this information that keeps on getting repeated over and over again. Just because you've heard it many times, it doesn't actually make it real. And we would really encourage you to stop and think about it before you just kind of hop on the next trend. So for example, right, I had a young teenager, she was maybe 14 years old, came into my clinic the other day for an assessment, right? Her skin was a mess, she had acne, she had dried bits. She came in with a shopping bag, literally a shopping bag full of products, right? She said, well, this is what I'm using. I mean, I'm sure she probably spent her entire summer earnings on this bag of products. And really, she doesn't need all that. And in fact, a lot of the issues with her skin, like some of the acne breakouts, the redness, the dryness, was actually caused by some of the products. So really what I encouraged her to do, and I'm sure many are in the same boat, right? Go to your pharmacy, you're looking for a basic cleanser, right? Fragrance-free, something that will take off your makeup if you need that. If you're playing sports, something that will do a good job cleansing your skin. It does not need to be expensive. It just needs to be a well-known product. So twice a day with your cleanser, twice a day with the light oil-free moisturizer will really, and then a good sunscreen is what I would say 90% of teenagers need.
We all talking.
Yeah, you were spacing out.
Well, I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah. So then, I mean, that's for skincare. So personally, I would just say you're okay to go to a pharmacy, right? Price point is much better. You get larger quantities, which is easier to be consistent, right? And like I said, as long as we talked a little bit about dry skin, acne skin, sensitive skin, so you're buying something in the product line for your particular skin type, I would say for 95% of kids, it's perfect. So, okay, next question, what about makeup?
Well, makeup could also be the exact same philosophy, which is the KISS philosophy. Keep it simple, sillies. Like, it's just keep it simple. So basic skin makeup care that may have a BB cream, a foundation. A lot of cases, our patients are coached to have a tinted sunscreen in the morning that double doses for their moisturizer, their tint, their coverage. And then, your base brow lash, natural color to highlight. So, the Fendi, the Kylie, nothing is better or more fancy or more coveted than the other. And there's a ton of influencers that are paid and a ton of people that are pushing this on you. So from that influencing standpoint, it's just important to know what you're buying and most importantly, the why.
The why, right?
The why.
Right. Try to really resist, even though it's super tempting.
Yeah.
Try to resist that sort of influencer that says this is going to be the next amazing thing for your skin. So definitely try to keep it simple.
Basics
Yeah.
are good and basic.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So, we talked a little bit about the Sephora thing and the fact that kids are using retinol at a very young age. And, obviously we want to leave you with some really practical advice.
So keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Keep it basic. We've talked about basic washes with or without some active ingredients for those specific skin types necessary. Acne, oily skin being probably the most popular skin types out there for wash choices. The basic moisturizer, and you can do products in the same product line. That's always nice and handy. They look nice on the shelf. They often have the same pumps, easy to use. And
And I would just say, honestly, like when you're trying to make a choice, right? Again, keep it simple. And I would say really the key is identify one or two things that's your priority, right? So are you looking for something in your routine to address the acne? Are you looking for something to brighten your skin tone a little bit? Do you need something? Are you very dry? Do you need something to really moisturize? Pick one or two priorities and then focus on that. And I would say for a teenager, really, like maybe 2 products in the morning or 3. So a cleanser, a lotion, and then a sunscreen in the morning. So 3 products in the morning, and in the evening the same. So the cleanser, your lotion for sure. And if you want to, like if you have a specific need, you could add in a medicated toner, etc. Serums you don't need at a young age. Am I missing anything?
Well, some people want maybe a redness fighter if they've been going through a bout of acne. So they might have a little bit of a redness fighter in the evening.
Or prescription, right? So if you need a prescription, right?
Yeah.
So we touched on if you actually have something like acne or eczema and you need a prescription, right? That might be the 4th one that you kind of layer in at nighttime. But in general, it should be kept super simple. And then the other point is when you do change your routine, you really got to give it about 2 months to really know whether it's working for you or not. Okay, so don't give up after 5 days. It's usually too short. And what you don't want to do is be so reactive that, oh my gosh, I've been on this for 5 days now and it's not really doing anything. I'm going to go back and try something different, because then it gets really confusing.
Yeah. And then also on that note, good point, is some of those actives may actually not be every single day.
Right.
So they could be a few times per week until you get the legs underneath of you to get your skin adapted and adjusted to those actives.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a patience, slow and steady wins the race concept there.
Yeah. And for sure, I think what we would say is if you are having difficulty, right? Don't feel you should really reach out to a professional, a dermatologist for help if you feel you need it.
Okay, so closer.
Good.
So keep it, yeah. So
think we're
keep
good.
it simple. Okay.
Okay.
You mentioned the serum thing several times, but you didn't say why. Why no serums? Because serums are everywhere. Why no serums?
And teenagers?
For this, it's the serums for teenagers though specifically.
Yeah, you mentioned it, but you didn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
don't
I
do
think
this.
That's a good point. I think that's a good point. You're right.
Okay.
Because you did say no serums.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
you just say it, and then I'll
Yeah,
just
yeah, 'cause
I'll just
we
put
can cut
that.
it. We can take
I'll
that
cut
out.
that in later
Yeah.
and earlier.
Okay, great.
So you don't need serums, and then so start the sentence.
Okay.
You don't need serums at the young age because.
Okay. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
oh no, you said it first, so I think it should be in your voice, yeah.
Okay, great. So we don't really recommend serums in teenagers. So serums are really designed to have a deeper penetration. They're meant to deliver ingredients that are anti-aging. So things like Active C, for example, is often delivered in a serum, so you get that deeper penetration. But honestly, in teenagers, you don't really need those ingredients. Your skin is already healing beautifully. You've got that resilience. You just don't need to add in those anti-aging ingredients for anybody for sure under the age of 20. And in fact, we find, at least in our practice, I don't know about you, but when I see kids that are on serums, often it actually triggers further issues. So they tend to trigger acne, or we see a lot of perioral dermatitis, which is another medical condition. Sometimes even like the early starts of rosacea with the serum. So you don't really need them.